Hello traders, my name is Tomasz Wiśniewski. I'm a chief analyst in Alpari Research and Analysis, and this is our daily analytical report. First, we need to start with the calendar as always, and as you can see, we just had inflation from Eurozone, and inflation is higher than expectations. But GDP from Eurozone is worse than expectations. So let us see the reaction on the euro dollar. Mixed, as you can see, mixed ahead of this data and after the data. We are more or less in the same place as we were before. Let's come back to the calendar. Because today and tomorrow and on Friday the calendar will be pretty busy, full of interesting events and numbers. But first let me show you those the most important ones. Okay, so we still will get personal consumption expenditure price index from US. That will be influential data. Overnight, remember about the data from New Zealand, from the job market, and tomorrow's we have rate decision and policy statement. So that will be huge. That being said, we can come back to the charts, because on the charts we do have few interesting situations. So first one is, in my opinion, American dollar to Japanese yen, and I was waiting for that for the setup yesterday, as you can see, but today the price bounced from the horizontal support here, created inverse head and shoulder formation, left shoulder, head and a right shoulder, broke the neckline is this blue line, and broke the horizontal resistance here after 2 attempts. I would show you on the lower time frames, but okay, let me show you in the lower time frames. 1, 2, and finally 3, bounce, upswing. So that is a nice buy signal. Actually, after the webinar, I'm gonna think if I should open a long position here. This is a nice setup. I think I'm gonna enter this position here. What is happening in the long term is that the American dollar to Japanese yen created this symmetric triangle pattern, and we broke the upper line of this symmetric triangle. We went higher. Now we are testing the lower line of the symmetric triangle. We tested that as a support. This support got defended. Also, this horizontal support got defended. The price created inverse head and shoulder formation and went higher. That is pretty clean buy signal. So yes, this is very nice, nice setup. Like if you buy here, stop loss should be somewhere here, and take profit, first take profit is here. So in terms of the risk to reward ratio, that is 3 to 1. So that is a good risk to reward ratio, definitely. Price advancing higher, that is a very strong upswing. I wish I bought like somewhere here, for example, but we'll see where the price will be in the next few hours. The next one is euro to American dollar, which is also on a very important place, because as you can see, euro dollar is on the upper line of the symmetric triangle pattern, and also euro dollar is creating inverse head and shoulder formation, left shoulder, head and right shoulder. So we had this attempt for an inverse head and shoulder formation here, because there was left shoulder, head and right shoulder, but as you can see, the price extended the right shoulder here. So this can be a part of the head, or this can be a part of the right shoulder. It's not important now. What is important now is that the price is trying a reversal on the first important resistance, so the upper line of the symmetric triangle pattern. Even the breakout of this upper line of the symmetric triangle pattern will not be the good buy signal alone. because for the buy signal we need to first see the breakout of the green resistance. Once we're gonna get the breakout of the green resistance and the price will close a H4 candle above the green resistance, that will be a legitimate buy signal. To be honest with you, I would prefer a sell signal, so the breakout of the lower line of this symmetric triangle. Why? Because on a weekly chart it would create a head and shoulder pattern, breakout here, contact with the neckline, and breakout of this blue line would be a super strong sell signal for euro dollar in the long term. So from the risk to reward point of view, I would prefer the price to go lower. American dollar to Swiss franc, that is a very interesting situation, especially on a daily chart. So what we have on a daily chart is a bounce from the horizontal resistance with a shooting star, right? Then the price breaks the uptrend line here. Then the price tests the uptrend line twice. First test is with doji, second test is with shooting star. As you can see, this price is respecting, this pair is respecting shooting stars. We had a shooting star here, we have a shooting star here, and yesterday showed us like a full dominance, full bearish dominance from the very beginning till the very end, and the price broke the horizontal support here around the yellow area. Broken support most probably is gonna be tested as a resistance, so the price should aim the yellow area, and from yellow area we should go lower. So this is a very nice selling opportunity on American dollar to Swiss franc. You may also see a head and shoulder pattern here, left shoulder, head and right shoulder. So really this one looks awesome in terms of the risk to reward ratio and in terms of the probability as well. Swiss franc to Japanese yen. That was a nice sell signal, especially on a weekly chart. But it was a sell signal here. After the shooting star, the price went lower, but now we have a denial of this. The price is creating bullish engulfing, and the price closing above the red area, closing a week above the red area will be a strong buy signal, because it would mean that the support was broken but it wasn't positively tested as a resistance, and a comeback above this will be a buy signal. On a weekly chart, the drop till Friday, the drop was more probable, but as you can see, the beginning of this week, like this is Monday, the beginning of this week is awesome. So we already retraced all the drop from the last week, and we are very close to retrace the drop from 2 weeks ago as well. So first 2 days for Swiss franc to Japanese yen is perfect, is very good. Euro to Australian dollar, one of my favorite pairs right now. Why? Because we have the sideways trend and I'm waiting for the breakout. I think everybody's on the market is waiting for the breakout. And once the breakout gonna happen, that should be a strong movement and many people should trade it because it can give us an interesting trading opportunity. Breakout to the downside would be much better because it would create inverse head and shoulder formation, so that would be the top of the right shoulder. So I would really love to see the breakout to the downside. New Zealand dollar to Canadian dollar, that was a bit surprising. And luckily I didn't open a position. I wanted to do this here, but I hesitated, and that was a good call because the price is advancing higher. So that sell signal from the symmetric triangle was not respected much. Well, the price declined, but as you can see, they bounced from the first dynamic support here, and this is a pretty, I think we can remove that Fibo. It will be to see the weekly situation better. Yes, the price bounced from the long-term uptrend line, this red line. So the price bounced from this, so it should not be a surprise that we do have a reversal. Daily chart is still promoting a further drop, right? Because we defended this lower line of the symmetric triangle pattern, and maybe we'll go lower, but this setup is not strong enough for me to enter. Like, I don't like the situation where we move from the hammer to the shooting star straight away. So there is no movement between those two reversal patterns. Euro to Swiss franc, I was telling you yesterday that that's a good selling opportunity, and as you can see, yesterday's candle is very negative. But the thing is that today the price is trying again. The situation is negative. There is a head and shoulder formation, there is a breakout of the lower line of the wedge, there is a breakout of the support and the bounce from the support, so everything looks negative. As long as we stay below the combination of yellow area and the red line, the sentiment is negative, and actually price creating a bearish pattern on the yellow area and the red line will be a strong sell signal. Now British pound to Canadian dollar, long-term sell signal is still on. Breakout of the uptrend line, head and shoulder formation, downswing, up. So last 2 days are positive. The price is testing the first horizontal resistance. Maybe they will like to test the trend line as well. So here the price creating a bearish pattern here will be a nice sell signal. Actually, it's interesting how deep is this correction. No, this one is not so deep. Every correction is smaller, so there is no correction quality pattern. On oil, we do have a continuation of this flag, which is still promoting a further drop. If we would like to adjust this line, yes, I think this one would be better and this one would be better. So we are still waiting for the breakout of the lower line of the flag. Bitcoin after breaking the downtrend line created a sideways trend, but it's a sideways trend above the downtrend line, so we do have a chance for a further upswing. And as you can see, we could create a line here about the lower line. I'm not convinced about this, but the upper line is more legitimate here, so the breakout of the upper line will give us a buy signal on the Bitcoin. Another one. New Zealand dollar to American dollar. As you can see, this line was respected here, but here, no. So there's no point to have this line if it's no longer respected. We can remove it and assume that this horizontal resistance is the legitimate one. Or, for example, this. Price coming back above the orange area. Price going to the checkpoint will be a strong buy signal for New Zealand dollar to American dollar, because it would mean a false breakout below the yellow area. Euro to New Zealand dollar. There is a flag, but at the same time we do have this strong horizontal support. The price defended this horizontal support, so now we are waiting for the breakout of the upper blue line. The breakout of the upper blue line will be a strong buy signal. And American dollar to Canadian dollar. This one is good. Yesterday that was a bit of a false movement. Luckily I didn't enter this situation. Because the price reversed sharply. I think we can remove this yellow background. We all remember that it's a correction equality pattern. And now also I think we can adjust this resistance to the current situation here. That will be resistance. There is a support here, I guess. That is a false bearish breakout, but the price is still pushing lower, and we may get a further drop here. So those were instruments that I had opened for you the last week. As you can see, American dollar to Japanese yen is going down a little bit. Maybe we'll have like a reversal and then upswing. We'll see. But those are instruments that I had opened last week. Let's see if a new situation emerged and a good possible pattern or a setup emerged on the instruments that we didn't look at last week. So Australian dollar to Japanese yen is still in the sideways trend, and it's a daily chart, so we are waiting for the breakout, right? Australian dollar to American dollar, also sideways trend. Here, boring. Euro to Canadian dollar. Euro to Canadian dollar is having an interesting situation. On H4 chart, as you can see, broken support is being tested as a resistance. How does it look on a daily chart? On a daily chart, it's also kind of a head and shoulder formation. And on H1 chart, here 50 Fibo. I would say that this setup looks interesting from for the sellers. Here we had a broken support, a downswing, upswing, retracement of 50% Fibonacci, and most possibly a further drop. So this one is interesting. I will leave it on the chart. Euro to British pound. Horizontal resistance here. Not really. Nothing interesting on Euro to British pound. Euro to Japanese yen. And so yen is much weaker right now. Is giving all those recent gains. Interestingly, here buy signal, reversal, and a continuation. It looks like that. This is like here. Look at that, support, 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 resistance, support. The price bounced from this area with a hammer, then a buy signal, then a confirmation of the buy signal. There is this, that was a very like narrow flag. There is this area, resistance, support, support, resistance, 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 resistance. So this situation here, and there is this resistance here, where we now stopped. Need to change colors. I think what can happen here is a bounce from the low area, come back to the green area, and an upswing. But the situation in the long term for the Euro to Japanese yen is definitely positive, as long as we stay above this blue line. So on this instrument we do have a buy signal. Let's check British pound, Australian dollar. Here nothing. Look at this congestion. That's the worst place to trade. Oh, but what I may be seeing here is a false breakout. So we had the support, breakout, and now the reversal. That can be interesting. British pound to Swiss franc. That looks okay. Downswing, correction, downswing, correction, downswing, correction, downswing. That was pretty clean correction here. Head and shoulder pattern. Here, yesterday it resulted with a drop. Potentially that's good as a good selling opportunity. On the weekly chart we are in a downtrend. On a daily chart we are in the uptrend actually, but we are above the important horizontal dynamic support. Like here, we are exactly on it. But yeah. British pound, Japanese yen, nothing. Cable, that's a cable, but we need to remove those lines from the previous analysis. Cable was so technical at some point, but lost it, unfortunately. Here a downtrend, but a boring one. New Zealand dollar to Japanese yen, also nothing. Australian dollar to Canadian dollar, weekly nothing. Daily nothing. H4 nothing. Australian dollar to Swiss franc, nothing. Australian dollar to New Zealand dollar, that may be a false breakout. So there is a horizontal support, breakout attempt, come back. Interesting. Once we're gonna break this line, we will get a strong buy signal based on the false breakout and breakout of the midterm downtrend line. Yes, that can be interesting. So I'm gonna leave it. Canadian dollar to Swiss franc. Nothing, nothing, nothing. Canadian dollar to Japanese yen. Nothing. New Zealand dollar to Swiss franc. Oh, it was quite interesting symmetric triangle pattern with a huge risk to the downside. We broke this line and now we were fighting for this line. There is also the upper line of this formation. So this line was broken, so there is no reason to have it anymore on the charts. And strong support. Breakout of this green line would be a nice buy sell signal for this New Zealand dollar to Swiss franc, which is following downswing, correction, downswing, correction, downswing, correction, maybe downswing. That scenario would be promoted by the weekly chart and by the daily chart. On a daily chart, we would break those lows. here and here. So breakout of this green area, this bigger one, should be sell signal. British pound, New Zealand dollar, symmetric triangle pattern, here and here. That can be a good one, but on a daily chart. So we still have to wait for the proper signal. And gold and silver. How is gold behaving today? That's a weekly chart, but you can see that the gold is going lower. Here. Oh, ladies and gentlemen, we do have a fresh sell signal on gold. But to be honest with you, I would wait for the breakout of the green area first. So breakout of the green area would give us a strong sell signal. And let's analyze silver as well. Silver is still above the lower line of the correction pattern and is trying a defense movement, so situation on silver is a bit better than on gold. So yes, that's the situation on the charts. American dollar to Japanese yen is having the best setup, but small reversal, then an upswing. And here we do have a nice sell signal as well. Apart from this, not so much, unfortunately. Euro to Japanese yen, in the long term, we do have a nice buy signal here on this instrument. Okay guys, thanks very much for attending the daily analytical report. I hope you enjoyed that. And now we have a short break, and after that a webinar about price action. I hope to see you all there. Thanks very much, and all the best in trading.